Hey, rock stars, are you ready to power up your team and take your projects to new heights? Meet BizSync Solutions. BizSync Solutions is proudly Indigenous and more than just a staffing agency. They're your go-to partner for building a diverse, skilled, and high-performing team. With over 16 years of experience, they excel at providing staffing solutions across a variety of industries, from skilled trades and project management to executive roles, payroll, and administration. Based in Alberta, they proudly serve businesses Canada-wide, ensuring you have the right talent wherever your projects lead you. Diversity is at the core of BizSync's mission. They're dedicated to creating inclusive environments where every voice is valued, crafting workforces that truly reflect the dynamic industries they support. Whether you're searching for top-notch tradespeople, office professionals, executives, or industry experts, BizSync is here to connect you with both temporary and permanent placements. Their team is with you every step of the way, from pre-project planning and mobilization to procurement, helping you achieve your project goals and drive success. Ready to experience the BizSync difference? Sync up with BizSync Solutions today. Visit www.bizsyncsolutions.ca or call 1-866-442-7962. Thank you, BizSync Solutions, for your support of the Business Development Podcast. Welcome to episode 188 of the Business Development Podcast. And on today's expert guest interview, we're chatting with Vladimer Botsvadze, a world-renowned marketing expert and an advisory board member at the United States Artificial Intelligence Institute. We're chatting today about emotional connection and why it may be the only sustainable long-term advantage. Stick with us. You are not going to want to miss this episode.
The great Mark Cuban once said, "Business happens over years and years. Value is measured in the total upside of a business relationship, not by how much you squeezed out in any one deal." And we couldn't agree more. This is the Business Development Podcast, based in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and broadcasting to the world. You'll get expert business development advice, tips and experiences, and you'll hear interviews with business owners, CEOs, and business development reps. You'll get actionable advice on how to grow business. Brought to you by Capital Business Development, capitalbd.ca. Let's do it. Welcome to the Business Development Podcast. And now your expert host, Kelly Kennedy.
Hello, welcome to episode 188 of the Business Development Podcast. And on today's expert guest interview, I bring you Vladimer Botsvadze. He stands as a towering figure in the dynamic realm of digital transformation and marketing, with an illustrious career spanning over 15 years. Throughout his journey, he has consistently been at the vanguard of innovation, earning him recognition as one of the foremost thought leaders in the industry. Whether he's captivating audiences as a keynote speaker, illuminating the path forward as a futurist, or nurturing the next generation of entrepreneurs as a startup mentor, Vladimer's multifaceted expertise shines through. His remarkable track record includes being ranked as the #1 global marketing thought leader by Thinkers 360, a testament to his unparalleled insights and strategic acumen. Beyond the accolades, Vladimer's impact reverberates across continents, shaping the future of technology and business on a global scale. His insights have graced the pages of prestigious publications such as Forbes, Bloomberg, and Business Insider, solidifying his status as a trusted authority in the field. With a passion for crafting game-changing strategies and an unwavering commitment to excellence, Vladimer empowers individuals and organizations alike to navigate the complexities of the digital age. In a world hungry for innovation, Vladimer Botsvadze stands as a beacon of inspiration, armed with a wealth of experience and a relentless drive to shape the future of digital marketing. Vladimer, it's an honor to have you on today.
Hi, Kelly. I truly appreciate the invitation, and it is a delight to be here, and I'm excited to share my insights with your audience today.
It's an absolute honor, dude. And once again, let me apologize again. For goodness sakes, we've had multiple apologies trying to get the damn internet connection to work properly for us. This is our third try to do this show. I've never, ever had that many tries to get a show right, Vladimir. So first off, thank you so much for your patience. My deepest apologies that we weren't able to get this done the first, second time. But you know what? They say third time's the charm, right?
Yeah. So I hope so that now we are going to have a proper episode,
Well, that was it. We could have kept going, but that's it. It's like, I want to make sure that we are getting the best possible representation through to our listeners, because this is going to be an awesome, insightful episode. And I've been excited to have you on, dude. And I really appreciate you reaching out to me. But before we get into it today, we're going to chat all about AI. We're going to chat about marketing and technology in the future. And you'd already told me some things that are a little bit scary. So we're going to get into that. But before we do, how did you end up on this path? 15 years down this journey for you, and you've done some pretty incredible things. But who is Vladimer Botsvadze? How did you end up on this path?
Well, I'm a long-term thinker, Kelly. I'm a storyteller to the core. I'm a practitioner as well. And I love connecting with people. I love communicating with my audience. And if you check out my career trajectory, I come from Georgia, but I moved to the United States when I was 18. I got my work permit. I started working. It was my first experience in my life at the age of 18 in Washington, D.C. area. Remarkable start. So after living in Virginia, I moved to New York City. I built everything. I built my entire career on my New York City experience because it has laid a strong foundation for my success, So I started seeing the world faster, easier, clearer, and I have I started embracing self-education. Networking is everything these days, because through networking you can become a keynote speaker. Through networking you can become entrepreneur. Through networking you can become influencer. So in 20, of course, New York City experience turned out to be instrumental in my career journey. And in 2009, I moved to London because I was hungry for success. I was hungry for growth. So I studied business, marketing, customer experience. I started working in business development. I used to work for 20 offices in downtown London. I had a very dynamic job. And I was surrounded by very positive and hardworking and enthusiastic people who were, they were very contagious for me, infectious in many ways. And so I think this experience that I built up my self-esteem, I built up my confidence. London is one of the best places nowadays in the world. If you want to move up in the world, gain ground, go places in your early 20s, you need to be in London to grow, right? To surround yourself with right people. So London is epicenter of innovation in the world. And I'm very grateful to the UK. I have many great friends in London who trust me. And I consider London my home away from home. And also in 2014, I attended some conference in Dubai, and I understood how important it was to build a personal brand. I instantly started hitting the ground running on Twitter. I built up my following from 0 followers to 57,000 followers in 6 years, in 6 years, without advertising, without promoting my profiles. So organic growth, content creation, communication, patience, long-term thinking, where is driver of my growth. So in 2015, I built up my website at vladimerbotsvadze.com, and I started providing marketing and consulting services. I won my first award in 2015 when Analytica in London recognized me among top 100 B2B marketing influencers. I was ranked number 65 B2B marketing influencer. In 2017, I was recognized among top 100 virtual reality influencers by Analytica. And in 2018, I was among top 100 digital transformation influencers. So in 2020, I was recognized as number one global marketing thought leader by Think Society, which is the first open platform for global thought leaders, because I was consistent. Kelly, I was consistent. So as they say, consistent action creates consistent results. So I was very consistent. I was very disciplined. I was working 16 hours a day. I was connecting with the world. I was building emotional connections with my followers, and I turned a following into a strong community. because we were exploring the future of marketing together, So I think what is the difference between audience and community? In audience, people don't know each other, but in community, people do know each other because they make stronger bonds. So I brought people together while exploring the future of marketing together, So I was sending video messages, text messages to my followers that I was grateful for that they appreciated my hard work. They appreciated my content. They paid attention to my content. They to me. They liked. They left comments on my tweet. So I was grateful. Someone from Berlin, London, Toronto, Vancouver, LA, Las Vegas, Chicago, New York paid attention to my content. So in 2021, I was invited to judging panel of the Digital Revolution Awards in the UK, and I judged nominations such as Outstanding Contribution to my Microsoft Ecosystem and Tech Star of the Year. It was my first award contribution as a judge, So in 2022, I was invited to judging panel of Stewie Awards, American Business Awards in the United States, So I judge amazing brands. I'm very grateful to Stewie Awards. So in 2022, as I was recognized as an AI influencers in the world, because in 2019 I was ranked number 6 global AI influencer by Thinkers
Wow.
360. In 2021, I was ranked number 14 global AI influencers. In 2022, I was ranked number 16 global AI influencer. In 2023, I was ranked number 18. But now in 2024, I'm now number 11 global AI influencer.
Wow.
But this consistency, this hunger, this determination, this exponential growth in AI world opened up so many doors that I became an advisory board member of the United States AI Institute, United States
Wow.
Data Science Institute, United States Cybersecurity Institute. Just imagine that. I mean, it was incredible, because I'm a momentum oriented. I always look to my laurels. I don't rest on my laurels. I always look to my laurels. And as you loved my LinkedIn profile, that I have a great work experience, many awards, interviews, everything. It's because I'm a long-term thinker. I mean,
Yeah.
I invested my last dollar into my website a few years ago, and now when you Google, for example, digital marketing keynote speaker, my website vladimerbotsvadze.com is ranked number 1 speaker
Wow.
website in the world. So then in 2023, I became a mentor at Techstars. Techstars Saudi Arabia, Techstars founder Kate Ellis, and Techstars Detroit, powered by JP Morgan, So at the same time, I became a judge at the Webby Awards,
Yeah.
and I became an associate member of International Academy of Digital Arts and Sciences in New York City, which belongs to Webby Awards. And at the same time, I have been invited to summits, conferences to share my insights. I have been a guest on 50 podcasts. In 2023, Global Gurus recognized me number 4 internet marketing guru. So number 1 is James Clear. Number 2 is Jay Bayer. Number 3 is Neil Patel. Number 4 is Vladimer Botsvadze, and number five is Gary Vaynerchuk. Just imagine
Wow.
that I'm in the league of elite marketing thought leaders. I mean, James Clear, Neil Patel, Jay Bayer, and Gary Vaynerchuk. I was ranked among top 5 in the world last year, according to the global gurus. So in 2024, as I have a great track record in AI, I advise boards in the United States, and I'm a recognized AI thought leader. AI Speakers Agency in London recognized me among the world's top 21 AI keynote speakers, and I'm alongside Sam Altman, who is the CEO of OpenAI. I'm alongside Sam Altman as among the world's top 21 keynote speakers. I mean, incredible journey, Kelly, incredible journey.
Let me just stop you there and just say, congratulations on your success. And take it from me. I'm well aware of how hard it is to achieve the things that you have been able to achieve. And you're right. It's consistency over time, and there is no shortcuts, right? Everyone wants the fast track. How do I get to, 100,000 followers? It's like, you work your ass off.
Yeah, I did. I kept my nose to the greenstone. My nose to the greenstone.
That's right. It's so funny. Everybody's looking for that fast track to success, right? And and on this show, I'm always telling people, look, you will achieve success, but it is not going to come just for free. You're going to have to put the effort in, right? Whether you're doing business development, whether you're doing marketing, whether you're doing, influencing of any type, it is going to take time, but you have time. So just get to it.
Yeah, Kelly, I'm now 36. I'm now 36. Just imagine that today is the 20th of June, and in 10 days, I turn 37. So, but it has been a long journey. I have come a long way for my success. Nobody should say that my journey has been a walk in the park. No, it has been a very demanding, strenuous, taxing. But when there is a way, I have become a guest speaker at the University of Edinburgh Business School. I'm also on the advisory council of Harvard Business Review. So why? Because I put my best foot forward. I put my best foot forward, and I maximize my success through my personal brand.
One of the questions that I have for you after listening to that story and knowing about your background, I'm like, we didn't get into it on this show. It's so funny because we've already recorded a couple times trying to get this right. So we talked about it previously. We're going to talk about it again. Like most people, when you go into people's LinkedIn experiences, most people have 10, 15 experiences. Dude, you have 55 plus different experiences on your work experience. And I was just like blown away. I don't think I've ever seen somebody with as much experience as you.
The vast majority of those 55 global experiences in the last 4 years experience, because I have become a keynote speaker, I have become an award judge, advisory board member. I guest speaker, and I'm going to be a lecturer in the future, but I take pride in my journey because it's authentic, I gained recommendations from top executives of the world, top Fortune 500 brands, So I think that I have gone from the number 65 global B2B marketing influencer in 2015 to number 1 in 2020. It shows my hunger, determination, drive, that if you put in the work, results will come. It's all about hard work, And so the only things that can separate you from the crowd is hard work and passion.
One of the things that kind of blew my mind is, like you said, like you were way ahead of the curve, right? Like people weren't thinking of business influence. Like they were, but not to the level they are now, and definitely not in 2014. Like I don't think most people were even using LinkedIn properly in 2014.
Well, just imagine, Kelly. Just imagine that I was getting ready to do my master's in marketing in London. Because I had a few invitations, offers from the top universities from the UK to do my master's in marketing in 2013, but I didn't have enough money to fund my studies in the United States to the UK. So I was very driven that of course I did not study marketing in the UK, but at the same time Twitter opened up so many avenues for me to explore great opportunities. So I became a mentor, judge, recognized influencer, thought leader. I invested my money in my website. So many people recommended me. They endorsed my skills. And I won more than 200 global awards just because I was hungry. I was determined, I was motivated, And I don't believe that you can meet so many people in your life who are as motivated as I am because I love hunger. I want to capitalize on every opportunity to move forward, to be in the top 1%, to become number one, to tell my story. So every marketing is all about, I think, what is marketing? Dr. Peter Drucker said that marketing is all about creating customers and retaining customers. Lifetime value and retention are everything, That I'm all about retention. That I kept my followers and I was growing my followers. I was showing gratitude. I was communicating with my followers, And so many people nowadays, they are on their high horse. They don't communicate with their followers when someone pays attention to their content. If someone leaves comments on their post, nobody responds to them. So it is a big mistake.
Yeah.
We need to respond to our followers. We need to interact with them. So I'm very interactive. I love communicating. I love that I now have 30 plus recommendations on LinkedIn, which means that I earned every recommendation by dint of my hard work. Nothing has been given to me. I have earned every podcast appearance, every magazine appearance. I was recognized, Kelly. For example, I was recognized. Excellion magazine recognized me as a transformative leader of the year.
Amazing.
And another magazine, for example, Inside Success magazine, recognized me top 10 inspiring business leaders making a difference in 2022.
Wow, that's so cool.
It is. I never. There are people who pay $50,000 to be on the magazine covers and to be interviewed in the magazines. I never, honest to God, I never paid any amount of dollars for interviews and for features, because they they appreciated and rewarded my hard work, my devotion, my dedication, that I'm all about passion and storytelling,
Yeah, it's so funny. Like, for the most part, and I'll be honest, I don't typically take reach outs. So the fact that this happened, it kind of took a couple tries on your part, and then for me to do a little bit of digging. But we self-invite everybody to the Business Development Podcast. So all of our guests are hand selected. We don't typically take referrals, but you reached out to me directly, and that to me was one of the catalysts that I was like, okay, I'm gonna reach back out to him and chat, because it takes a lot of courage to reach out and say, hey, I think I make a great guest for your show, and here's why. And by the way, this is me and not an agency.
Yeah. So as they say, Kelly, fortune favors the brave, right?
That's right.
If we are not intrepid in our business, if we are not proactive, so many people are reactive. We need to be proactive. Sometimes we need to be proactive and to put our best foot forward.
Well, and that was one of the things that I wanted to chat with you about. You know, your whole speech that you just had talks about your intrinsic motivation, how motivated and driven you are internally. And I guess one of the questions that I had for you is, there's a lot of people listening that are like, yeah, I have that drive sometimes, but how do I keep that drive going? Because you don't accomplish the things that you've accomplished if you take breaks. And I think there's a lot of people listening who say, like, yeah, I have my spurts of motivation, but how do people really capitalize on that and keep that rolling? Because it can be very challenging to stay motivated and hardworking all the time. And I bust my butt to keep my life going, right? Like, the podcast doesn't produce itself. My work doesn't complete itself. And if I want this thing to keep going, if I want to reach, number one on the podcast charts, I'm going to have to bust my ass to get there. And there's no days off, right? Like, I don't miss a day. I don't miss a show. We don't miss shows on the BDP. We put out 2 shows a week, bar none. Aside from me breaking my arm, we're going to be there. But that's what it takes, right? And I guess for you, what was it? Like, what is that piece of motivation? Do you have advice for people who need that internal drive? How did you get your internal drive the way it is?
It's all about soft skills, Kelly. Nowadays, I would say resilience, flexibility, then agility, motivation, self-awareness, curiosity, and lifelong learning. Also, empathy and active listening. We need to listen to our audience. And whoever is closest to the audience always wins. I have never been competitor centric. I don't even know who are my competitors. But I'm very audience centric. That I'm in the league of James Clear, Neil Patel, Jay Bayer, Gary Vaynerchuk, among top 5 in the world, which means that I'm audience centric. I communicate with my audience. I give away my best advice for free. Whether it is media interview, magazine interview, podcast interview, tweeting, or speaking at global events, I give away my best advice. So I want to encourage people to move forward. I don't sell nonsense in the back of conference room. Because I'm transparent. And I don't overcharge my clients. But the only way that big organizations book me as a speaker is to speakers bureaus, because I work with speakers bureaus. So I have been building my personal brand in the last 18 years, since I moved to the United States when I was 18, and new kid on the block in 2006, when I was given a US visa, So I think I have come a long way for my success. Nothing has been given for me. I have depended on motivation, soft skills, curiosity, lifelong learning. I love reading 500 pages a day. YouTube is my university. So this embracing self-education is one of the top drivers of success.
Yes, but it doesn't come easily to everybody. I think that's the challenge, right? Is that you almost need something to help you to take that
Yes.
next step. For me, it was starting my business, right? And eventually starting the show and seeing the success of the show over time. Obviously, though, when you start any new venture, you have no idea how it's going to go. Like, dude, I started the show in my basement, talking to the wall, thinking, who in the world is going to listen to a show on business development? Turns out a lot of people. But I couldn't have known that at the time, right? But it really was. It was those little motivations along the way. You talk about communicating with your audience. Man, the audience of the Business Development Podcast has been so motivating. They're amazing individuals. We have a rock star listenership to this show, and they're so awesome. And they'll reach out and they'll say, hey, we implemented the things you chatted about, and we've experienced amazing success. Thank you. I just got into business development. I heard this show, and my gosh, I got the job that I've been trying for, right? And it's things like that that really helped me.
And Kelly, one thing that contributed to my success is that I'm a giver, not a taker.
Yeah.
So many people nowadays are takers, not givers. So we need to give something before we take, right? We need to give.
Right.
So I expect nothing in return. When I give, I give. I don't expect anything in return.
But it sure is nice when people reach out and let you know that the work you're doing is appreciated, isn't it?
Absolutely. I love when people connect with me and they email me that they watched my keynotes, they watched my podcast appearances, they read my magazine interviews, and they started following me on Twitter, and I made a difference in their lives. It is a big compliment. It is my biggest success. That, of course, it is great to be a judge at the Webby Awards, to be a mentor at Techstars, to be a guest speaker, and to be number one in the world. But when I receive emails that I made a difference, that I create content consistently, Kelly, this is a bedrock of my growth, because I blog, I have my Medium, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. I have been a guest on podcasts, So I never been I never played for Real Madrid, or I never been a celebrity or politician, or but I have told my stories through Twitter and social media channels, and social media and Twitter is what has put me on the global map,
Well, it's not too late to be a celebrity or a politician. You can start anytime. I don't know, though. I don't know if it's what it's cracked up to be.
But Kelly, I have been featured. I have been featured in Forbes, Business Insider, Bloomberg, Yahoo Finance magazines, and I don't have a degree from Harvard University. I have never played for Chelsea or Barcelona or Bayern Munich. I never played, but I never been a politician or. But social media, I have been. I have told my stories to social media, and it has made all the difference.
Amazing. And yeah, you were so ahead of the curve. And you're right. You've had incredible success growing your following. And I guess, we're talking to a lot of entrepreneurs right now, Vladimir, who may or may not have started that journey, who may or may not understand the importance of personal branding as it applies in 2024 and beyond. And me and you both know everything has changed. But let's chat with them today. You've had incredible success creating a following, becoming an influencer, making a pretty damn big global impact. What kind of advice would you give to people who haven't taken a single step on that direction yet, but, are recognizing they may need to?
I think that it's all about consistency, curiosity, telling your story, providing value, giving first, and expecting nothing in return. Because every time now I meet new people, they all about taking. They don't provide value, and they are asking something in return. So I think we need to create content. So our content is supposed to provide value that opens up so many doors. It builds great content, builds relationships, builds bridges. In my world, a great content creation has built bridges. With entrepreneurs, keynote speakers, mentors. I'm followed, for example, by Grant Cardone. Incredible that I'm followed by Grant. So because I created great content, because I sent 130,000 tweets. I have posted more than 60,000 times on Instagram. I have my Medium. I documented my journey. I have had my active presence on Medium, on Blogger, on WordPress, on Tumblr. So I put my eggs into different baskets. So nowadays, when you do your MBA, those marketing professors teach you to put all your eggs into one basket, which is a big mistake. I believe putting my eggs into different baskets. I think it makes all the difference. So I think also what has contributed to my success is that we need to start networking. We need to start networking. We need to say hello. I think when someone mentions you on Twitter, it means handshake for me. Someone is shaking a hand. Also, you have to shake them hand as well. So to me, social media is a reactionary business. It is all about listening and responding. Listening and responding. And as they say, it's like Twitter is like a cocktail party. So you have to break the ice, mix with people, jump into conversations. And I think no barriers on Twitter. For example, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, the rest of channels have barriers. For example, if I don't know anybody, I can't send Facebook requests, right? Because if I don't know them personally. But on Twitter, no barriers. Kelly, no barriers. People realize nowadays, people complaining that Twitter is a toxic social media network. But Twitter is the only social media network left that prioritizes human connection. The rest of social media channels are content push out platforms. But Twitter is the only channel for me that prioritizes human connection. So I think that Twitter now has more than 600 million users, and and 350,000 tweets sent per minute. 350,000 tweets sent per minute. So I think that what is happening nowadays, incredible, right? I have witnessed that people, incredible, open-minded entrepreneurs built multi-billion-dollar startups, unicorns through Twitter, through communicating with their audience. Glossier is a great example because Emily Weiss started as a blogger and she built $1 billion cosmetic brand. I think you can build $1 billion business through blogging and connecting with consumers on social media.
Wow. So what you're ultimately saying is that business has completely changed.
52% of global organizations have disappeared on the Fortune 500 list since 2000. 52% of organizations disappeared, Kelly, because they are boardroom centric, not consumer centric, because they don't listen to their consumers, And this is a big mistake, that Blockbuster made, that they were boardroom centric and did not buy Netflix for $50 million, and they were ignoring the fourth industrial revolution, they went out of business, and we know that Nokia lost market share, BlackBerry lost market share, Kodak lost market share. Why? Because agility is everything. Speed. It's no longer about big or small. It's all about fast versus slow. So our industry has many Davids that surpass Goliath, because Goliath is slow, David is fast, so speed is everything.
And kind of what you're suggesting is that in order for companies to survive at this point, they really need to be able to pivot on a dime. Like, you can't be this billion-dollar organization doing things the same way you always did. You need to find ways to create efficiencies so that you can be more agile, quicker, and frankly, keep up with these smaller players who are able to spin on a dime.
Absolutely. So they still depend on these tried and true strategies that worked in 1995, 2005, 2010. And top executives put their MBA degrees on a pedestal that no longer provide positive ROI. And if I attended a business school in 2010, this knowledge no longer works in 2024. You have to, you have to keep up with the latest trends in technology. And I think what skills do businesses prioritize, Kelly, by 2027? There are a few types of skills, Kelly: cognitive skills, self-efficacy, technology, and working with others. The first, according to the World Economic Forum, the first skill is analytical thinking, which is cognitive skill. Second skill is creative thinking, which is a cognitive skill. Third skill is AI and big data, which is technology skill. The fourth skill is leadership and social influence, which is working with other skill. Then fifth, resilience, flexibility and agility, which is self-efficacy. Then sixth, curiosity and lifelong learning, which is self-efficacy. Seventh, technological literacy, which is technology skill. Number eight, design and UX, which is a technology skill. Number nine, motivation and self-awareness, which is self-efficacy. And last but not least, empathy and active listening, which is working with others skill. So just imagine that you need cognitive skills, you need technology skills, also self-efficacy, and also you need to be able to work with others in the digital age. Work with so these skills, that leadership and social influence, then motivation, self-awareness, and empathy and active listening. So these are top 10 skills by 2027 that businesses prioritize according to the World Economic Forum. And I would also add to this long-term thinking. I would also add to this list. If I were a member of the World Economic Forum, I would offer my insights that long-term thinking should have been added to this skill, because I think long-term thinking is also very important, because so many people think short-term, medium-term, but not only a few tiny minority of people think in the long term, like Jeff Bezos, because Jeff Bezos is a long-term thinker. And I think customer centricity, long-term thinking, reinvention, constant reinvention, because many people stand still, they don't reinvent themselves, but Amazon reinvents itself. I think reinvention is very important.
So when we're thinking long-term thinking, I like that. I like that a lot. I think some of the challenge in that, though, Vladimir, is that most companies can't see what's coming. So, like, in my experience, some of the biggest things that have changed my world, I could have never seen them coming. Like, I didn't know 3 years ago that I was going to start a podcast, and I couldn't have known when I started the podcast that it would be as successful as it is today. I hoped it would be, and it's great that it is. And obviously, I did a lot of work in the meantime to do as best as I could to make sure that I was consistent, that I was showing up, that I was providing value, all the things you spoke about.
Yes.
But it still could have failed, right? It still could have bombed. There could have been, 80 other podcasts that were better, and whatever. That's what happens. What I'm suggesting is I think companies want to be long-term thinkers, but I think that it can be almost impossible to see the opportunities that are going to come their way. So can you maybe elaborate on how companies can get better at long-term thinking and maybe create a more accurate future?
Well, I think if nowadays from 2014, uh, in the foreseeable future, if they want to become long-term thinkers, they should become an AI company, because I think um, the vast majority of executives believe that AI gives them a competitive advantage, So AI can improve business efficiency by up to 40% and reduce operational costs by up to 30%, according to McKinsey, So I think global AI market value is expected to reach $267 billion by 2027, and 28 of companies use AI for marketing purposes. Only 12% of companies use AI for content creation. Only 12%. 44% of organizations use AI to lower operational costs. And I would say that AI is going to replace 30% of global workforce by 2030, which means that
Wow.
375 million individuals will have to switch other careers by 2030, So, according to the World Economic Forum, 85 million jobs will be replaced by AI next year. And
Wow.
I
Wow.
think that total contribution of AI to the global economy is going to hit $50.7 trillion by 2030, and nowadays 77 of people use a service or device that is AI powered. And I would say that what are the popular use cases for businesses in 2024? Conversational AI, which AI chatbot, cobots, voice assistants take over the global scenes, and which expected to reach 7 billion by 2024. And customer service, AI replaces customer service representatives as 61%, and customer service professionals expect that most representatives will use AI automation in their role in 2024. The second is hyper personalization. It is 92% of companies are using AI driven personalization to drive growth. And last is automated processes. Gartner expects that 69% of daily management tasks to be completely automated by 2024. So I think that even recruiting and workforce optimization, 61% of plan to invest in AI to streamline the processes in 2024. So I think that AI reigns supreme, and I believe that over 60% of business owners believe that AI will improve customer experience. Of course, AI is creating jobs and also replacing jobs, which is very important to understand. That of course millions of jobs are going to replace, as I noticed, Kelly, copywriters, bloggers, marketers are losing their jobs. 41%, 41% of code on GitHub has been written by generative AI. Just imagine that coders are losing their jobs, because of generative AI. Even influencers are going to lose their jobs in the future because generative AI is going to generate influencers. Just imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't make mistakes, eh? They know what buttons to push.
So Kelly, so I would say to boil my point down, I would say that building emotional connection with the world is the only sustainable competitive advantage.
Love
Emotional
it.
connection, because if I have an emotional connection with the world, my I will be still sought after, and if I see that millions of people are losing their jobs, I will not be replaced by AI because I have this emotional attachment to the world, because I will be still sought after, because this world loves picking my brain.
Well, what if they make an AI bot of you and then they download your information? Then you might be out of the job too.
But Kelly, AI's downside is
Yeah.
emotional intelligence.
Yeah. Yeah.
AI,
Yeah.
this is our advantage. It is our
Yeah.
advantage. Emotional
Great.
intelligence is, as I mentioned, that is curiosity, flexibility, motivation, your lifelong. It is our advantage. So we need to capitalize on soft skills to
Yeah.
surpass AI and to remain competitive and to stay ahead of the car.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree completely. It's so funny because, for years I've been talking about it's important to build real relationships, to be authentic, to be human. And what you're saying is not only is it like it's something you need to do, it's something that you are going to have to do to just exist and compete in the next phase of the business world.
Yes, of course, authenticity is very important because if I detect someone is not authentic, I dissociate myself with them, because I want
Yeah.
to be surrounded by authentic, real leaders, So I think that I have gone from 0 followers to 57,000 followers on Twitter because of patience, because I was tracking my progress from month to month. My cloud score was 58 in 2014, but my cloud score reached 80 in 2018, but they put the kibosh on cloud in 2018. But in 4 years, I was curious, driven, motivated to create content and to have my presence across several social media channels. And cloud was measuring my influence on social media.
Yeah, yeah. Man, like this really has me thinking, Vladimir, like there's a lot of like people in VP positions that have just held that position forever. That's where they've been. They haven't focused much time on social media because they go to work every day. They might have very high level executive positions, but they haven't taken those steps to create an outward face of them. They're well known within their organizations, but to the world, to the social world, they might as well be invisible. What you're kind of saying is like, man, they're going to be in some serious trouble if they don't make some changes ASAP.
Building a side hustle, Kelly. Building, because I started working from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. So I think when there is a way, right? So let we need to fish where the fish are and respect the fish.
My gosh. Yeah, it's a brave new world, man, and I really appreciate you chatting about it. I guess one of the questions that I have for you is if you had to go and do it over again, right? If
Yes,
you had to go in and build your following all over again, because like to me, that's what I think is the meat and potatoes of this conversation.
yes.
We have a bunch of people who are not building a personal brand. Heck, we have CEOs who are not building a personal brand. They haven't needed to. But now you're saying, wake up. You need to build a personal brand. And they're thinking, crap, like, do I need to hire somebody to help me with this? Like, how do I do this? If you had to do it from square one, step by step, what are the steps that you would take?
Well, I think start small, build gradually, show patience, never stop learning. Active daily learning is everything. Active daily learning. Then I mean, build your authority. Because I have gone from the ninth page to the first page when you Google digital marketing keynote speaker. Because why? Because if I earn someone's trust on podcast or magazine or somewhere else, I'm also earning Google's trust, right?
Yes.
Because I never worked on SEO, right? I never worked, but it is a very competitive world nowadays. They are investing millions of dollars in building their personal brands. But I was on a shoestring budget. I only had $5,000, but I was building my personal brand from my heart. It has made all the difference. I was building my personal brand from my heart, but so many people building their personal brands from their head. I was
Mhm.
building my personal brand from my heart because there are only a few people who build their personal brand from their heart because they love what they do. They are passionate. They tell their stories, and they work 16 hours a day. So I work 16 hours a day to drive such transformational results. So I embrace self education, and I'm all about momentum oriented, Kelly. And I believe that if I can do it, anybody can do it. So you can turn all the tables, and we need to move forward constantly. We should never look back, and looking back is a big mistake. We should always move forward. We should always choose optimism. we should bear in mind that there is always light at the end of the tunnel, and constant dropping wears away a stone. So believe in persistence, and nothing great comes easy. I mean, you have to push yourself all the time, and also be audience centric. Listen to your consumers. Provide value. Position your brand as a media company. Become the greatest publisher of information. Become the greatest publisher of information. Because I don't have much resources. I don't have audio engineer. I don't have video engineer. But I had my iPhone X. I recorded 45 videos through my iPhone X for free. I uploaded to YouTube for free.
Yeah.
Thousands of people watch my videos. I told my story with passion, with drive, determination. They believed in me. Seeing is believing. So when the world sees what I'm doing, they believe in me. They work with me. I build trust. So building trust is one of the biggest achievements in business. I want to build trust with my audience, because I want to be authentic, because I want to help them, I want to retweet them. I want to support their journey, I want to show them that anyone can achieve success, anyone can achieve success, So it is all about playing everyone should have the same chain, meritocracy. Everyone should stand the same chance to succeed,
Yes, yes. But you and me both know the people who get in first go the furthest, right? And so I think one of the big takeaways today needs to be, if you're hearing this show and you haven't taken any steps to create a personal brand, and I'll tell you, I've had plenty of interviews at this point with incredibly successful people across the gamut through HR, marketing, sales. All arrows are pointing the same way. All arrows are pointing in 2024 and beyond. Personal brand is no longer an option. It is absolutely critical to your long-time success. If you haven't taken steps, you have to. You have to start today. And like Vladimir's saying, start small. All of you have a cell phone in your pocket that takes video. Take some video, put something out there, start putting a little bit of yourself into the world every day and watch it change. Because mark my words, my platform is this podcast, right? But I could have never known how far this podcast would reach. I think you will be surprised at how far your content will go.
Well, I hope so, because if content moves, it means that you are moving in the right direction. So we need to move our content forward, right, Kelly? We need to move our content forward. And my tweets reached 40 million people on Twitter at no cost, because I never spent on dollars. But I think that nowadays Elon Musk is improving Twitter, and I'm sure that it will move forward. And Twitter was standing still for many years while Instagram was reaching new heights, right? And Facebook and the rest of channels. But I believe in Elon Musk's vision. And I think Elon Musk's personal brand is a brand, right?
Yep.
Just imagine, Kelly, that Tesla does not have an advertising department,
Well, that's it. More people know Elon Musk than know Tesla. So I think his personal branding's been on point.
Yeah, exactly. And just imagine that Tesla, brand value. What is brand value? How much is the brand value of Tesla nowadays? $71 billion. $71 billion. And how much those traditional automakers are worth, like Mercedes-Benz, BMW, 30 billion, 23 billion,
Yeah.
Because they continue, those traditional automakers, Mercedes-Benz spends $945 per car on advertising. Tesla spends $0.
Wow. And you're saying it's all because the leader has built such an incredible personal brand, they don't even have to.
Yes, exactly. Personal brand is a brand nowadays, and if people want to live in their ivory towers, I think they are going out of business.
Wow. Well, it's a new world.
It's a new world, and I think that this community, Kelly, that Elon Musk, that every follower of Elon Musk is a brand advocate, brand ambassador. They sharing Tesla's Tesla's photos, it spreads like wildfire, and entire world knows about Tesla's products without the need of advertising. So I think advertising is going away because we are in the streaming economy. We watch Netflix and we watch no ads. We listen to Spotify, we listen no ads. Amazon Prime, no ads. Disney Plus, no ads. Audiobooks, no ads. Podcast, no ads. Just imagine that consumers are willing to pay extra not to consume ads,
Yeah, no, they are. They are, absolutely. It's a new world and we're all having to learn how to play in it. Vladimer, this has been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for joining me today. Before we close out today's show, I know you offer a lot of services, including public speaking. You do over 100 global talks a year, and you've done, 50 different podcasts, but you offer other things as well. Can you talk a little bit about the services that you offer and the areas you service?
I'm in white, Kelly. If you check out my website, you will see so many. Because I deliver my workshops, trainings, seminars, corporate meetings, different kinds of talks, So during my year, I'm very busy because I work 40 speakers bureaus throughout the world. Just imagine that.
Wow.
how busy my schedule is. But I provide my speaking services, my consulting services, then coaching, mentoring, teaching. I'm a guest speaker to several business schools. I'm a guest speaker, and I think that it is very exhausting journey, Kelly. Very exhausting, because I sacrificed my life. I was scrimp and save to build my personal brand, and I invested my last dollar into my website a few years ago. Now my website is number one on Google. I'm alongside James Clear, Jay Bayer, Neil Patel, among top 5 global gurus, and I'm also alongside Sam Altman, among the world's top 21 AI speakers. So I'm moving forward. I'm very delighted. That my sacrifices have started paying off,
Amazing. I know exactly what you're talking about because we invest everything into our passion projects, right? Like for me, it's this podcast and capital business development. And I've given my heart and soul to both these things.
But just imagine that your podcast will have a huge return on investment, which open up so many doors, and you will have so many invitations. So people will pick their brain. So the world will start beating your past because you have a strong personal brand and you are in a media business and you create content consistently. This is a big difference,
Yeah. I guess, but it's still hard work, right? Like there's no easy button, guys. Like there's no easy button. You have to show up. You have to do the work. You have to respond. You have to be a human. But just start. You got to start somewhere.
Yes, exactly. And as they say, big oaks grow from small acorns. And if you start small, if you build gradually, I'm sure that you will build a big acorn,
Absolutely. Vladimer, what's the best way for listeners to reach you if they're interested in booking some of your services?
Well, they can visit me at vladimerbotsvadze.com. I'm also open to new connections on LinkedIn. They can follow me on X, formerly Twitter, at Vlado Botsvadze. Also, I'm available on Instagram at Vladimer Botsvadze. So let's connect and build something great in the future.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Vladimer, for sticking with us here. It's been a heck of a challenge getting this recording done, but it was well worth it. This has been episode 188 of the Business Development Podcast, and we will catch you on the flip side.
This has been the Business Development Podcast with Kelly Kennedy. Kelly has 15 years in sales and business development experience within the Alberta oil and gas industry and founded his own business development firm in 2020. His passion and his specialization is in customer relationship generation and business development. The show is brought to you by Capital Business Development, your business development specialists. For more, we invite you to the website at www.capitalbd.ca. See you next time. on the Business Development Podcast.
Hey, rock stars. Hypervac is back, and it's upping the cleaning and restoration game once again. Originating in the 1980s as a humble family-run air duct cleaning service in southern Alberta, Canada, Hypervac Technologies has evolved into a global powerhouse in duct cleaning equipment. Their product lineup boasts powerhouse solutions such as the Revolution 360 vacuum and groundbreaking tools such as the Cobra View camera system, all designed to enhance your efficiency. But here's the kicker. Hypervac Technologies dominates the competition with their top-selling non-PTO air duct truck in North America. Hypervac is now back with a bold new claim. Hypervac Technologies now keeps stock on all major products for immediate worldwide shipping, offering overnight freight to the USA and Canada, plus everything they offer is proudly built in North America. And it's not just about cleaning ducts. It's about elevating indoor air quality because after all, your ducts are your lungs. Their expertise extends far beyond North America with worldwide shipping available. With over 4 decades of industry excellence, Hypervac Technologies is your ultimate partner for reaching new heights in the cleaning and restoration business. So what are you waiting for? Visit their website at www.hypervac.com.